You grab a SharkBite fitting, push it onto a pipe, and think the job is done. 20 minutes later, you are proud of yourself. 2 months later, you are standing in a puddle wondering what went wrong. These fittings are marketed as foolproof, but after over 25 years of fixing other people's plumbing, I can tell you they are anything but. Today, I am walking you through 4 mistakes people make with SharkBite fittings that lead to leaks, failed inspections, and real water damage. Stick around because number 4 is one I see constantly, and the bonus tip at the end could save you from a disaster you would never see coming. The first mistake that gets people into trouble is not deburring or properly preparing the pipe. This is the number 1 reason SharkBite fittings fail, and it is the one almost nobody talks about. Here is what happens. You cut your copper or PEX. PEX rhymes with flex pipe with a tubing cutter, or worse, a hacksaw. That cut leaves behind burrs, tiny raised edges of metal or plastic right at the end of the pipe. They might look minor. You might not even notice them. But inside that SharkBite fitting is a small rubber O-ring that creates the watertight seal. When you shove a burred pipe into that fitting, those tiny jagged edges drag across the O-ring and score it. Sometimes they slice right through it. The seal is compromised before you even turn the water back on. Now here is the thing. It might not leak right away. That is what makes this mistake so dangerous. You test it, everything looks dry, you pat yourself on the back, and you move on. But over weeks or months, that damaged O-ring degrades further under pressure. One day you notice a damp spot on the ceiling below, or worse, you come home to a flooded room. I have seen this exact scenario play out dozens of times. The fix is simple but non-negotiable. After every single cut, you need to deburr the pipe. For copper, use a dedicated deburring tool or even the built-in reamer on most tubing cutters. You want the inside and outside edges of that pipe perfectly smooth. Run your finger around it. If you feel anything catching, you are not done. For PEX, a sharp utility knife can clean up the cut. But a proper PEX cutter that makes a clean square cut in the first place is your best friend. And while you are at it, make sure the pipe is clean. Dirt, corrosion, adhesive residue, any debris on the outside of that pipe in the area where the O-ring sits is a leak waiting to happen. Wipe it down with a clean rag. Some pros even lightly sand copper with emery cloth to make sure the surface is perfectly smooth and clean. This takes about 30 seconds. Skipping it can cost you thousands. The second mistake that catches homeowners off guard is using SharkBite fittings in inaccessible or concealed locations. This one is part code issue, part common sense issue, and it trips up a lot of DIYers who think SharkBite fittings are a universal solution for every joint in the house. Let me be clear. SharkBite fittings are mechanical connections. They have moving parts, rubber seals, and a stainless steel bite ring. Unlike a soldered copper joint or a properly glued CPVC connection, mechanical fittings have a higher statistical chance of eventually needing service. That is not me bashing the product. That is just the reality of any mechanical connection. Now here is where it matters. Many local plumbing codes require that mechanical fittings remain accessible. That means you cannot bury them inside a finished wall, enclose them above a ceiling with no access panel, or hide them in a concrete slab. If an inspector sees a SharkBite fitting concealed behind drywall with no access point, you are going to fail that inspection. And if you are not pulling permits, which is a whole separate conversation, you are still setting yourself up for a nightmare. Imagine a SharkBite fitting that starts weeping behind a finished basement wall. By the time you notice it, you could be looking at mold, rotted framing, and thousands of dollars in remediation. The smart move is to use SharkBite fittings where they are accessible and serviceable. Under sinks, in utility rooms, in unfinished basements, inside access panels. those are all fair game. If you need a permanent connection inside a wall, learn to solder copper or use PEX with copper crimp rings or expansion fittings. Those methods are designed for concealed installations and are accepted by code virtually everywhere. Think of SharkBite fittings as an excellent tool for the right situation, not a replacement for every type of joint in your plumbing system. Use them wisely, and you will never have a problem. Use them everywhere, and you are rolling the dice. The third mistake that makes a real difference between success and failure is not inserting the pipe to the correct depth. This sounds almost too simple to be a real issue, but I promise you it is one of the most common reasons these fittings leak, or worse, blow off entirely under pressure. Every SharkBite fitting is engineered to work when the pipe is pushed in to a very specific depth. That depth varies depending on the pipe size. For a 1/2 inch fitting, the insertion depth is 1 inch. For 3/4 inch, it is 1 1/8 inches. For 1 inch, it is 1 1/2 inches. These are not suggestions. These are requirements. What happens when you do not push the pipe in far enough? The O-ring may only be partially seated against the pipe. The stainless steel teeth that grab the pipe and prevent it from pulling out may not have enough pipe to grip. Under pressure, that fitting can slowly push itself off the pipe or develop a drip that turns into a stream. I have personally seen a SharkBite fitting blow clean off a pipe because the homeowner only inserted it about half the required depth. The water was on full pressure, and that fitting launched like a rocket. The resulting flood did over $4,000 in damage to the kitchen below. SharkBite includes a depth gauge tool with most of their fittings, and you can also buy one separately for a couple of dollars. Use it every single time. Or at the very least, measure the correct insertion depth for your pipe size and mark it on the pipe with a permanent marker or a piece of tape. When you push the fitting on, you should see that mark disappear right up to the edge of the fitting. If you can still see your mark, the pipe is not in far enough. Push harder. You will feel a slight click or resistance change when the teeth grab. Do not be timid with it. A firm push is part of the process, and after you seat it, give the pipe a good tug to make sure it is locked in. If it pulls out, something went wrong and you need to start over. This simple step of measuring and marking takes less than a minute and is the difference between a solid connection and a catastrophic failure. Now, if this kind of practical plumbing knowledge is something you want more of, I have written a guide called 50 Easy Plumbing Fixes that will save you $10,000. It is packed with repairs you can do yourself this weekend without calling a plumber. Scan the QR code right now or check the first link below. All right, let us continue. The fourth mistake I see constantly is using SharkBite fittings on unsupported or damaged pipe. This is the one that experienced plumbers shake their heads at because it seems obvious once you understand it. But in the moment, when you are mid-repair and just want the water back on, it is an easy trap to fall into. SharkBite fittings need to connect to pipe that is round, straight, clean, and properly supported. That sounds like a given, but think about the real-world situations where people reach for these fittings. You are fixing a leak on an old copper line in the basement. You cut out the bad section, and now you are looking at pipe that has been there for 40 or 50 years. It might have green corrosion buildup on the surface. It might be slightly out of round from decades of stress or from being bumped. The pipe might not be strapped to anything and just hanging loosely between joists. You grab your SharkBite coupling, push it on, and call it a day. But that corroded surface is preventing the O-ring from making a clean seal. That slightly oval pipe is leaving a gap the O-ring cannot bridge. And that unsupported pipe is going to flex and move every time someone turns on a faucet or the water hammer hits, putting constant stress on the fitting. Here is what you need to do. First, inspect the pipe you are connecting to. If there is corrosion on copper, Clean it thoroughly with emery cloth or sandpaper until you see bright, shiny copper. If the pipe is dented, kinked, or out of round, cut back further until you reach a section that is in good condition. You need a clean, round, straight section of pipe for the fitting to work as designed. Second, make sure the pipe is supported. Use copper straps, pipe hangers, or clamps to secure the pipe near the fitting so it cannot move or flex. SharkBite recommends supporting the pipe within 2 inches of the fitting on both sides for the best results. This is especially important on long horizontal runs where gravity and vibration work against you. For PEX pipe specifically, there is an additional step many people skip. SharkBite fittings on PEX require a pipe liner, which is a small stiffener insert that goes inside the end of the PEX tube before you push it into the fitting. This liner keeps the PEX from collapsing or deforming inside the fitting. Without it, the O-ring cannot seal properly and the teeth cannot grip correctly. Most SharkBite fittings come with these liners included, but if you are reusing a fitting or bought a bulk pack, double-check that you have them. Skipping the liner on PEX is an almost guaranteed leak. And one more thing about damaged pipe. If you are working with old galvanized steel pipe and trying to transition to copper or PEX with a SharkBite, be very careful. Galvanized pipe corrodes from the inside out, and what looks solid on the outside might be paper thin or heavily scaled internally. SharkBite does make transition fittings for galvanized, but the pipe threads and surface need to be in good condition. If you have any doubt about the integrity of old galvanized pipe, cut it back to a good section or transition using a proper threaded adapter. Do not gamble on a fitting holding onto pipe that is ready to crumble. Alright, here is the bonus tip that pros actually use, and most DIYers have never heard of. When you install a SharkBite fitting, especially in a critical location, like a main supply line or near expensive finishes, do a pressure test before you button everything up. You do not need fancy equipment for this. Turn the water back on and bring the system up to full pressure. Then take a dry paper towel and wrap it snugly around the fitting. Leave it there for 15 to 20 minutes. When you come back, unwrap it and inspect every inch of that paper towel. If there is even the faintest hint of moisture, you have a problem that needs to be addressed right now, not after you have closed up the wall or put the vanity back. This method catches micro leaks that your eyes will miss completely. A visual inspection might show a dry fitting, but a paper towel will reveal moisture you would never spot until it became a real problem weeks down the road. Plumbers who have been in the trade for decades use this trick because it is dead simple and it works every single time. It costs you nothing but a paper towel and a few minutes of patience, and it can save you from one of those slow leaks that ruins the ceiling or grows mold behind a wall for months before anyone notices. All right, that is the full breakdown. Remember, every single plumbing fix I wish homeowners knew about is in my book, 50 Easy Plumbing Fixes. Scan the QR code on screen right now or grab it from the first link in the description. I appreciate you watching, and if you want more of these practical fixes, make sure to subscribe. I will see you in the next one.